Next at 6.
Police have released new details on Monday's deadly parade shooting. I'm Marissa Perlman in Highland Park, Illinois, with the latest on the investigation.
Plus, the controversial plan to extend the border wall to the ocean and block off Friendship Park.
Neighbors say this street near Tecolote Canyon is extremely dangerous, and they want stop signs or speed bumps or anything to make it safer.
And how do you bring an old piece of film back to life? You hire a suburban archaeologist.
CBS 8 News Live at 6 starts right now.
The Biden administration is announcing it is going to finish part of former President Trump's border wall right here in San Diego. Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Marcella Lee.
I'm Carlo Cicchetto. The sections are 30 feet high and would cut off Friendship Park and eliminate the Friendship Gate. Here's CBS 8's David Gottfredson.
30-foot walls in the middle of a park would really be antithetic to this idea of cross-border friendship.
The idea of a cross-border friendship park began 51 years ago when First Lady Pat Nixon landed on the beach in a helicopter to inaugurate Borderfield State Park. She had the Secret Service cut the barbed wire so she could greet Mexican citizens who had gathered on the Tijuana side of the border.
And her and all the other officials that were there kind of declared it as the first phase in what they would like to be International Friendship Park.
Daniel Wattman with the nonprofit Friends of Friendship Park remembers the days when the Border Patrol would open the gate on the weekends to let families visit each other through the fence. The government shut down those visits at the beginning of the pandemic, and now comes news that the gate will be eliminated and replaced with a pair of 30-foot walls all the way to the ocean.
There's no consultation with anybody from the community. It was just DHS consulted with local Border Patrol who cited safety for their agents. And that was the only point of view that was given as far as whether they should put those 30-foot walls in or not.
The original plan for expanded border walls through Friendship Park came from the Trump administration. Construction was halted when President Biden took office. But Wattman says 10 days ago, the Border Patrol told him construction was back on again, and an electric gate would be installed for vehicle access.
This isn't just any old part of the border. This is a special space. So, and they're just treating it like any other part of the border where they put 30-foot walls in and they put rolling gates for their vehicles, and that's it.
Now, we reached out to both the Border Patrol and DHS. We wanted to ask them, how much is this border wall going to cost and when is construction going to begin? Both agencies employ public information officers, but neither agency responded.
David, it was a place where people could get together and see loved ones when they had no other way to make that happen. It's a loss for a lot of people. Now, we know President Biden, he halted new border wall construction. So why is this particular stretch going forward?
Well, technically, it's considered a border wall replacement. The existing border wall in that area is 18 feet tall. The replacement will be 30 feet.
David Gottfredson reporting live for us. Thanks, David.
The death toll from yesterday's parade shooting in Highland Park, Illinois has now reached 7. As Marissa Perlman reports today, police released new details about how the gunman carried out the attack.
Today, the Lake County State's Attorney's Office has charged Robert Cremo III with 7 counts of first-degree murder for the killing spree that he has unleashed against our community. These are just the first of many charges that will be filed against Mr. Cremo.
Police say the man they believe carried out Monday's deadly parade shooting, 21-year-old Robert Cremo III, fired off at least 70 rounds from a high-powered rifle that he legally obtained.
We do believe Cremo pre-planned this attack for several weeks. He accessed the roof of a business via a fire escape ladder and began opening fire on the innocent Independence Day celebration goers.
The investigation reveals the shooter was disguised in women's clothing as he carried out the attack. Officials say he then walked to his mother's home and drove away in her vehicle. He was apprehended about 9 hours later during a traffic stop. Police say they found another rifle in his car and more legal firearms at his home in a nearby town.
Now investigators are pouring through videos of the incident and Cremo's social media accounts.
We have no information to suggest at this point it was racially motivated by religion, or any other protected status.
Police say they had at least 2 encounters with Cremo in 2019. In one instance, his family called police saying he had allegedly threatened to kill them.
The police removed 16 knives, a dagger, and a sword from Cremo's home.
But police say at that time there was no probable cause to arrest him, and there were no complaints signed by any of the alleged victims. Marissa Perlman, CBS News, Highland Park, Illinois.
A car is drying out tonight after being pulled out of Mission Bay earlier today. Police say a suspected DUI driver drove right into the water. It happened just before 5 this morning. The driver is safe. Lifeguards say the man swam to shore. Police say he had been drinking and is now facing DUI charges. No one was hurt. This is one of the busiest times of the year for animal shelters. There's always an increase in lost animals following 4th of July festivities. This year is no different. The San Diego Humane Society has already taken in 40 stray animals, including dogs, cats, and rabbits. If you've lost your pet, here's a quick tip to help you find them.
The best thing to do is to post about your pet online. Use your social media, Facebook groups, next doors, put signs up in your community. Most likely your dog or cat is nearby.
And they say microchipping your pet and writing your phone number on their collar are the best ways to make sure that your pet comes home if ever lost.
People who live in a Tecolote Canyon neighborhood are pushing for stop signs and speed bumps on a street they say is dangerous. CBS 8's Brian White has been on that street all day working for you and talking to neighbors.
Here in this neighborhood near Tecolote Canyon, neighbors say this street here, Via Las Cumbres, is extremely dangerous. They want to see the city do something about it.
We want to leave and try to pull out. We're kind of taking our life in our hands.
Tom McCullough tells me this intersection here at Via Las Cumbres and Caminito del Cervato has a blind spot, making it very hard to see oncoming cars.
Well, it's scary, because you never know for sure. Even though there's the mirror, it's kind of dirty half the time and kind of hard to see. And you also have the cars coming from the other direction.
Neighbors say cars on this road often travel too fast.
There is a barrage of cars that drive way over this speed limit of 25 that we see here.
And they pointed out to me another intersection at Via Las Cumbres and Caminito Listo, where cars come barreling down the hill, making it unsafe for people to cross.
I do fear for many people with baby strollers, older people. There are elderly in the neighborhood and they walk very slowly.
Christian Tordahl lives on the corner and he says they've had a number of accidents here in recent years.
There was a van that flipped over on this side and hit a parked car. There was another car that over here that went sideways into my car, which was parked. And there was another car that came barreling down here sometime in the middle of the night, up onto this sidewalk, knocked down the stop sign into my driveway.
They've been begging the city of San Diego for traffic calming measures for several years now.
I hope that we get speed bumps put in, and if not that, then at least stop signs.
I reached out to the city's transportation department and they say a traffic study was done here in 2020 and this stretch of road qualified for traffic calming signs that show your speed like this one you see here. But it didn't meet the criteria for stop signs apparently. Either way, the project has been on the unfunded list ever since.
It's just really frustrating because this is a community that means a lot to us, and it just feels like our requests are falling on deaf ears.
I also reached out to the Linda Vista Planning Group to see if they'll consider hearing this issue at their upcoming meeting on July 25th. Working for you, I'm Brian White for CBS 8.
And don't forget, here at CBS 8, we are working for you. If there's an issue you would like us to look into, email us at workingforyou@cbs8.com.
Tonight, Sweden and Finland are closer to joining NATO after the U.S. and other allies began setting up ratification procedures to accept the two countries today. On Monday, a U.S. Army general became NATO's supreme allied commander in Europe. Now, Sweden is signaling it would welcome further additions to the alliance, including Ukraine. Russia now controls most of eastern Ukraine and is continuing an offensive push to the country's west. Meantime, the wife of NBA star Brittany Griner says she isn't being silent anymore and wants the White House to do more to secure Griner's release.
Griner sent a handwritten letter to President Biden yesterday, pleading with the president to bring her home. She was arrested at a Russian airport in February, accused of possessing cannabis oil. In her letter, Griner wrote, quote, "I'm terrified I might be here forever."
I will not be quiet anymore. I will find that balance of, harm versus help in pushing our government to do everything that's possible, because being quiet, they are not moving, they are not doing anything.
Griner's trial in Russia began last week. The State Department says she is being wrongfully detained. Federal officials say they are working aggressively to free her. Griner's trial resumes on Thursday.
How multiple COVID infections affect your health. Details on that new study next.
Plus, does a recent ruling mean law enforcement officers don't have to read you your rights? We verify.
Then the latest on a wildfire that's quickly grown out of control in Northern California.
We've had mild temperatures, lots of sunshine out there, but now we're going to talk about a big warm up by the weekend. All those details are coming up.